system? And
Sure.
of course, how long you've been with InsuredMine.
Sure. Well, I am Blanca Townsend, and I am the director of the Personal Lines Department for Conan Insurance. So, as Paula mentioned, we are in Illinois. We are in a suburb of Illinois in Aurora, and then we also have an office in Lakeview in Chicago, over by Wrigley Field. So, really nice area out there. Um, Agency has been here 60 plus years in this area, and same with Lakeview.
Sure. I'm Daniel. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Rollo Insurance Group. I am in College Station, Texas, but we have 67 locations across 6 states, soon to be 7 states. We have grown a lot since I've been here. I joined in 2013. I think at the time we had about 8 locations and about 40 or 50 people. And now we obviously have over 60 and about 250 people. So it's been a fun ride over that time. We use Applied Epic as our AMS. We are a general purpose agency.
I think Deborah, you're muted.
We're pretty good at a lot of things, but I don't know about reading lips.
Sorry, my mouth wouldn't work. I'm Deborah. I'm with it says Gilman Insurance, but the agency actually sold about 3 years ago. So I'm actually with Hill Group. Gilman had been around for 35 years before we sold. I have actually been with the agency for 20. I'm a commercial problem solver. We started working with InsuredMine, I believe, about 5 years ago.
Thank you, Paula. And thank you everyone for joining. We're so excited for this webinar and of course having Deborah, Daniel, and Blanca. So before we start talking about the customer journey in InsuredMine, we would like to hear from you guys what was the challenge before using InsuredMine, which challenge you were facing, and nowadays we can say like this challenge, it's gone. So what do you think about Deborah? Which were your challenge?
The challenge for us was really we didn't really have a good way to see everything that we were working on, to track everything that we were working on. We were having to put manual follow-ups in our emails and everything. So that was a real big issue for us. We are our bread and butter has always been small business, so we have a lot of volume, and we had no way of automating anything. So that was a big thing, and that's both on the new business and the renewal side. So we were having to do a lot of manual follow-ups, which take a lot of time. So that was a big reason we started looking for a CRM that would allow us to have the automation. The automation was a huge piece for us.
Well, the big thing for us is that the more that we grew, right? So being the director of the department, InsuredMine came on board so that I could help track what my agents were working on. We have some with many years of experience versus some very green ones, and having one place where we can see all of that, right? And also, as Deborah mentioned, not the automation part of not having to do reminders in your email, and creating a more consistent, polished look of the messaging that are going out to our clients. So we do utilize the pipelines for new business, renewal, because as busy and as disruptive as the market has been in Illinois the last couple of years, we are on our phones constantly and
have described, but also other challenges that we have seen. It's as Deborah mentioned previously, we have agencies that they still using spreadsheets to track their sales. And it's kind of hard to believe that when we onboard an agency and they say, we have everything in a spreadsheet. That's our daily work. So we are impressed and they love all of these changes, either with automations or the dashboards or also the pipelines. Paula, can we go to the other slide? You're muted.
Yeah,
Paula.
I think also to mention too, it gives that, and everyone had that same common thread, is that's consistent process across your teams. That's the key thing.
Yep. So here we're going to jump into the customer journey, guys, and we are going to stay probably like the most of the time. Those are all the questions that we have, and I know that we are just having more 10 more minutes. So before we wrap up this amazing webinar, I would like to ask Daniel, Blanca, and Deborah, what will be your top 3 best practices that you suggest to or other InsuredMine clients to maximize InsuredMine?
I would say for me, start slow, right? And it's not as complicated. Start slow, right? And it's not as complicated as we can make it, right? You just take a piece at a time. Very true that the data that goes in is going to match the data that goes out and vice versa. So with it corresponding with whatever we have in our AMS, we also have to make sure that that's all clean data.
This is really great. Thank you, Blanca. What about you, Daniel?
I would say number one, focus on training your producers really well to put in information accurately, to have good due dates, to make a habit of looking at their pipeline and their forecast view pretty often, and then talk to them about it. Work on creating a culture where InsuredMine is their base of operations for their sales process.
Yep. And both of those are great. Deborah?
I would agree with Daniel and Blanca on everything that they said, but I would also add, adoption from your people, and making sure that they're using the system, and then making sure that it's consistent across your employees, and just making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Again, I know my people don't like change. I'm sure y'all's are the same. And once they realize that the system is there to help them, it makes their life much, much easier. It's just getting them to actually do what they need to do sooner rather than later, and making sure that the information that they're putting in is correct. But yeah, definitely adoption and consistency are huge.